Hi, it's Mike Ferry. Welcome back to Mike Ferry TV, the week of July 22nd. Second half of the year is underway. We hope you're underway with the second half of the year. Now, again, I mentioned last week, just briefly, IR30, Instant Replay for 30 days. We offer this starting on August 1st. If you did not attend the retreat, I think we charge like $150. Call the office, sign up. You can watch the entire 4-day retreat in depth as often as you want on your computer for that price and for 30 days. So learn what you've missed, take advantage of it. And if you were there, I think it's a little less for those that attended, but get involved. Okay, we've been working virtually for 3 weeks, now our fourth, on what we did during the tour, okay, prior, and that tour took place in May and June. California, Nevada, Arizona. We did a tour on the East Coast the last 15 days of April. We had a great reception to the tour. We do it every year. It's a fun time for me to be with a lot of our customers. And this year the tour was on 15 different thoughts on how to get a lot of listings. So we've done 9 of those, I believe, at this point. So we're going to do the last 5 or 6 today. So this will be a little bit longer, Mike Ferry TV, but I want to get this wrapped up because then we want to start talking about how do we get our listing sold. So number 10, I want you to listen, think, and write down the word standards. Standards. Probably the most important thing in a real estate person's career is minimum standards they've defined for themselves in all aspects of not only how they do business, what they do, and how much they're going to do. A minimum standard of transactions, of production, of income. A minimum standard of listings taken versus buyer-controlled sales. Most people don't have any standards. We talked at the retreat a couple weeks ago on day 2 a lot about standards, trying to help everybody understand that you have a right to set standards that you will not go below to improve the quality of your business and your life. So we talked about the fact that I worked with a great agent a couple years ago who is really a powerful listing agent on setting standards to help advance his career. And the work we did together, we've shared with a lot of people on standards. So the call that I received from this great agent was really very simple. I'm doing a lot of listings. I'm doing a lot of listing presentations. I'm a little burned out. It's tough, it's hard work, etc. Anybody that's going to be productive is going to burn out at times. Anybody that's going to be productive, it's going to be hard work. But anybody that's not productive also has the emotional lows and the burnout. So you have to set some standards. So what I worked with this fellow on was setting 5 standards for him to follow that he committed he would not go below when it comes to going on a listing presentation. Or in essence, the seller has to qualify at a certain level to have your presence in their presence. And if they don't meet the standards, you can't go out. So there were 5 standards that he and I worked on and he put into effect, and he was enormously successful before. He's just as successful today. He's just saving a lot of time and frustration. Standards save time. Standards take emotion out. Standards eliminate a lot of the frustration you feel. So no order of importance. Here's the standards I gave him. Number 1, every seller has to answer every one of the pre-qualifying questions. No exceptions. Key point, no exceptions. Now, why did I say that to him? Because it is common that you get a call now and then, I want to sell my home, please come by, and we get excited, we run out, we don't pre-qualify, and then we find out they do want to sell, but not for a year. Now we've wasted our most valuable asset, our time. Second standard, all listings are going to be 6 months, period. All listings 6 months. Agents get desperate, take a 3-month, 2-month, 1-month listing. And of course, that is not fair to the seller, not fair to the community, not fair to the other agents, and certainly not fair to you as an agent. By taking a 6-month listing, any changes in the market that take place, you're there for them. If you need a price reduction, you have time to get it. The third standard, full commission. In his case, it was 6%. Now, I know what you're going to say. The biggest challenge in real estate today, pricing property and getting your commissions, because agents cut commissions every day. If you were at the retreat, you remember we spent a lot of time on day 3 on that very issue. So full commission. And then the fourth standard, which is really an important one, no listing taken more than 5% over CMA. 5% over CMA. So if he's listing a $300,000 home and the seller wants $360,000, that's more than 5%, he has to turn it down. Now his response, as would be yours, well, somebody's going to take it. Somebody's going to work the price down and somebody's going to eventually get a sale. And I'm going to say you're right. However, you know and I know that you're doing a disservice to the seller by taking that listing. And then the time you spend trying to get the price down is going to take you away from taking more listings. Then the fifth standard we worked on was the commitment to walk away. Okay, by walk away, you walk in the house, the seller is negative, nasty, angry, fights with you on every point. Shake hands, walk away. You get inside the house is a pigsty. I mean, it's awful. It stinks, it smells, they have 27 dogs and cats. It's not even a bearable property for you. Walk away. Those standards are hard. But if I can get you to commit to following standards, and you're the one that's going to set the standards for what is the minimum, your business is going to get a lot better. All right, point number 11 is resell yourself on all these points every 30 days. If you've been taking notes, which I hope you have, you can resell yourself all the time on these points. I have to resell myself all the time on the job that I do. Why? Because I've been doing it for 44 years. There's days when I'm not real excited about doing this job. There's days when I have to resell, repump, get myself motivated again to do my job. You have to do the same thing. And how do you do that? By having a business plan, by having goals and objectives, things you want to accomplish, and then reading them and rereading them to keep yourself excited about the opportunity. Folks, you're a great listing agent. Never forget that thought. You're a great listing agent. You have an obligation to do a great job for a lot of sellers in your community. Resell yourself on that thought and you'll be even better than you were. Point number 12 is a simple one that I covered during this entire tour. Stop celebrating when you get a listing. Stop celebrating. Your job is to get listings, period. That's your job, okay? So why would you then celebrate when you get one? Now, I understand the joy. I understand the excitement. You went out, you competed, you got a strong listing, you got it signed at a fair price, and you're excited. Okay, be excited for one day. Watch. Celebrations stop momentum. And when celebrations stop momentum, business slows down. You have a right to take 5, 6 listings a month, 7, 10 listings a month, 12 or 15 listings a month. But you can't do it if you're always, ha, 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 look at me, I got a listing. Stop celebrating. Critically important. 13, 14, and 15 are vitally important to becoming a great listing agent. They sound like the 3 easiest points of the 15. And the truth is, they're probably the hardest of all the points. So point 13, I'll ask you to write down 2 words. I talk about them all the time. Employer, ER, versus employee, EE. The listing agent in an office, the listing agent in the community, is the employer. Because when you take a listing, all the agents that represent buyers line up and they now work for you. See, without listings, the agents that have buyers are unemployed. The difference is you don't get unemployment insurance if you don't get any buyer-controlled sales. So the key to our industry is our ability to list property. The most important thing we can do is work to be a good, qualified, motivated, effective professional employer by having listings coming in all the time, which feed to all the agents that represent buyers an opportunity to go to work. I want people excited about the listings I take. I want people excited about taking their buyers out to my listings. I want them to look at my list and say, wow, Mike Ferry got a good listing. Let's get our buyers out there quick. But if I don't have any listings, none of those things take place. And I don't say it egotistically. I'm saying it because there are buyers in your marketplace now looking for homes. But if nobody's listing property, nobody's employed. Be the employer. Be the person that creates an opportunity for others to succeed. And by being that person, you have a lot more satisfaction in the business. Number 14, sounds so easy, it's so hard. Track your numbers every day and then learn from what you track. Track your numbers every day and then learn from what you track. So, how many hours did you prospect? How many contacts did you make? Obviously, how many leads did you generate? How many appointments did you go on? How many contracts did you get signed? Every day, at the end of the day, you fill those numbers in. And then that's your scoreboard. That tells you where you are in relationship to the goal that you set. And the scoreboard is nothing more than keeping track, because the winner is the person with the best score. And we want you to be the person with the best score. But if you don't track your numbers, you don't know the score. But if your numbers are 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, we means you never got into action. But let's say that you prospected 10 hours in a week, and you average 10 contacts an hour or 100 contacts for the week. And you got 0 leads, 0 appointments. Something is wrong. That is a sign something is wrong. What can we learn from looking at those numbers we have? So I want you to track your numbers every day in detail. It's tedious, it's boring, and if you're writing 0, 0, 0, it's not a lot of fun. But it allows you to see strengths and weaknesses as a salesperson. In point number 15, we finally made it to the end. It took us several weeks, is something I've been talking about for 44 years. And every day at our events that I've been doing, I would say, if you've seen me speak before, finish this sentence for me. Start every day at, you're right, 0. Start every day at 0. Apathy, complacency, big issues in our business. Why? Average sales price has grown dramatically from 2012 forward. Average commission check has grown. Commissions are being paid in higher numbers. People are making tremendous amounts of money, more than ever before, okay? And as a result, apathy and complacency fall into place. So what I'm going to say to you is this. If you get up in the morning, and even though you might have 2 or 3 good leads, you probably have a couple listings, 2 or 3 transactions in process, a little money in the bank. Start the morning at 0. Pretend like you have nothing. Get up in the morning. I have no leads. I have no prospects. I have no listings. I have no sales. I have no pendings. I have no money in the bank. I got to go to work. If you start your day with that mentality, you're hungry, you're motivated, you're excited about everything that takes place and happens. But if you start saying, oh man, I got this thing all figured out. I did 2 deals last month. I'm thinking about becoming a speaker or a coach. Oh, I did 2 deals in the last few months. I'm thinking about starting my own company. Complacency and apathy is the killer in our business. Start every day at 0. Okay, we finished 15 points the last 3 weeks. I'm glad you were with us. I'm glad you learned them. We're going to start next week on a little different topic that I covered on a lot of the tour spots, which is how do I get my listing sold. Thanks for participating in Mike Ferry TV. IR30 is available. Okay, jump on board, get involved, watch the retreat, learn and earn. See you next week. Thank you.